Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. Hello. Also, I think I need to extend that disclaimer to include that nothing on this channel should ever be taken as legal or medical advice. And if you are attempting to take something on this channel as medical advice, you really need to get a therapist.
However, I am willing to give out free computer advice. Some of it may even be actually valid.
Yeah, and I can talk about cars pretty accurately. So, like, just watch your words there, Buster.
Yeah, Jenny, I saw that BMW has developed a new customized screw head.
You know, I don't really know if that is legit or not. I haven't. If that was a BMW illustration, there would be various illustration numbers and reference numbers on there. They don't do just illustrations. I
wouldn't be too surprised.
Well, that particular shape, a two-prong quarter circle teeth of engagement, so to speak, that wouldn't be capable of a whole lot of torque.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine it being useful for anything other than a 5 or 6 millimeter bolt tops, because their torque is like 7-8 pounds, and you're not going to see that in something bigger. At least that's my opinion.
I've got a case of 30 different security bits. Each one seems to fit only one brand of products.
That wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah. You know why Phillips heads are the most popular screw head in the U.S.?
No.
It's all Henry Ford's fault. The square drive, the Robertson screws, were already available, and that's why these are the ones most used in Canada. But Henry Ford, for his cars, wanted a license to produce the Robertson screws himself. And Robertson wouldn't do that. He just wanted Ford to buy the screws from him. And Henry Ford was too cheap to pay for those screws, so he developed his own. Well, he didn't actually develop his own. The patent was already there for the Phillips screws, but apparently with those he was able to produce them himself and not have to pay anyone for them.
And now everybody likes to use Torx because the machines can hold on to that screw head better.
Yep. Yeah, but, back in the time of the Model Ts, the Torx would have been more expensive and more difficult to produce.
I don't know that they would have been able to produce those in those days.
Yeah.
The Torx goes down to a T1 or a T0.
Yeah.
And those are super tiny, and they just didn't have machines to do that then.
Are you sure about that, Jenny? Because I've heard on a certain channel that the ancient Egyptians had CNC machinery.
Well, they did, but it was stone-based. And it couldn't develop the fine threads that you need today in modern chariot building.
CNC machinery?
Computer numeric control.
It's a conspiracy theory by someone named Ben Van Kerwick.
I'm surprised we haven't heard anybody saying that the pyramids were 3D printed, since they now actually have developed 3D printers that will pour concrete.
Do not give them ideas. I mean, he's trying to say the ancient Egyptians had essentially computers by saying they had Turing complete devices. It's like,
Yeah, well, they also generated their own electricity, and we're talking with aliens and shit like that.
Yeah.
Was this before or after the Anunnaki sky people gave them the bad math?
Probably before.
I really need to forget everything I read. Everything I've read that Terrence Howard has said. But
Hey, at least the ancient Egyptians realized that pi was not equal to 3, but was slightly larger.
are you quoting the verse in the Bible again? That
Yep.
if you do the math, you get if pi is exactly equal to 3.
Yeah.
Didn't I hear that Donald Trump thinks that the wheel was invented in America?
I hadn't heard that, but I would not find it hard to believe.
All right, no chewing on air.
So let's see. In the side chat, we've got Canadian Ollie-Man, Brainless Steel, Slim Cyborg, Jenny with a whole lot of M's.
Well,
and
that would
Demon
be
Orb.
me.
Yeah, sorry for the late start, people, but I had a rough night, so I was
In honor of Slim Cyborg's presence, I'm going to now insert this toothpick through my lip.
Yeah, I was gonna say watch out for splinters.
Oh God, how do you get it to stop bleeding?
You could coat it with super glue, that works.
I believe you have to go to Pennsylvania and pick up some Nibbles with Gibbles barbecue potato chips.
I don't like flavored potato chips.
Nipples with dibbles?
Well,
Nibbles with Gibbles.
I like sour cream and chives potatoes, but that's it.
Isn't that the same thing, Porpoise? Aren't nipples for nibbling on?
Nibbles.
Yes, aren't nipples for nibbling?
Nibble.
Half of a bite. UITE.
Yeah, well, I have this tool called a nibbler. You wouldn't want anywhere near your nipple. Pennsylvania nipples.
So,
Anyway, does that make them Amish nipples?
There's a joke there about Amish flavored, but I can't quite put it together. My brain's too slow here.
Do you think the Amish people have kinky sex?
I'm sure some do.
Oh, I expect so. I mean, look at the whole Catholic schoolgirl thing. The more sexually repressed somebody is, the more kink they get into once they're exposed to it.
Oh, that explains it. Thanks.
I remember a few years ago when I was still in ex-Mormon circles, they were having to tell Mormon wives not to have 50 Shades of Grey parties.
Oh God, Mormon.
Do Mormon wives have those lingerie parties?
I'm sure they do, especially if they're MLMs. Mormons love MLMs.
But wait a minute. Aren't Mormons only supposed to wear, pre-approved underwear?
No, that's not quite the way that works. And they're called temple garments. Okay. There's no... The Jesus jammies, the magic underwear.
Jesus jammies.
Well, I did hear that the church now approved a new style for women, that they can wear ones that are sleeveless. And also that they approved some new fabrics so that people who are being sent as missionaries to hot climates don't have to wear the traditional ones, but they can wear ones that are of cooler fabric.
Listen, it's bad enough I can sum up my entire religious experience has been there, done that, didn't get the funny underwear.
Yeah.
Are Mormons allowed to sweat?
Yes.
During sex, I mean.
As long as they haven't drank coffee, they're allowed to sweat.
What?
Or tea.
Really? Damn.
Jenny, I think you'd benefit from my upcoming book. Like, do 144,000 people go to heaven, and other things that the Jehovah's Witnesses believe that the Mormons don't.
I think I could use that myself because I do get the two confused a lot.
If they have like black and white name tags, they're Mormons.
How does one convert to Mormon? Is there some like special drink or recipe or spell that they have to put on you so that you forget all about reality and stuff?
As I was born into the church, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I think they just count on good old fashioned overconfidence.
Well, not to mention they don't tell you everything when you.
Yeah. Like, yeah, if you say it confidently enough, some people will believe you.
And the discussions focus on the similarities between Mormonism and mainstream Christianity. You
Well,
go
I know
through.
the JWs try to pull people in by offering Bible study courses and not telling anybody they're JWs until they're like a year into it.
Yeah.
Until somebody falls down, breaks an arm, and they say, "Oh, sorry, you can't go to the hospital. Just stay there; it'll fix itself."
No, they can go to the hospital. They just can't accept blood.
I was going to say, neither the Mormons nor the Jehovah's Witnesses reject medical treatment, but the Jehovah's Witnesses do. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you for the correction.
But the Jehovah's Witnesses do reject blood transfusions.
Oh.
Maybe they should donate pints of their own blood and keep them in the freezer at home.
Nope. They don't allow them to give blood either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's your blood or somebody else's. It's quote unquote doing something in blood.
Yeah.
See, I think I understand the problem here, Jenny. You're applying logic to religion.
I know. I fall into that rut sometimes.
And hey, if not for me giving a blood transfusion, one of my sisters might not be alive now. Because after a traffic accident, she needed blood, and since I was O negative, I was really the only one who could give it to her.
I know it's going to...
I received my own blood transfusion a few weeks ago, so I know how important they are. Everybody, please donate blood.
Well, I can't give blood to either of my siblings, so...
I don't even know what my brother's blood type is. But they won't take my blood anyways because I'm on warfarin.
Okay, Slim is asking how many of us were told about masturbation at the right age.
Menstruation.
Sorry. My dyslexia, I was misreading that.
I was told about it just in time.
Yeah. I tried to donate blood, but, then they were asking me, where'd you get this blood? Why is it in a bucket?
Yeah, so my siblings are O negative, so they can donate to me, but I'm A negative, so I can't donate to them.
Yep.
Tattoos disallow you from donating blood?
Yeah, It's because tattoos use needles, and I think it's not permanently. It's just like it's not like a permanent ban like it used to be. It's more like a couple, like 6 months or to a year, because they want to make sure you didn't get hepatitis B or AIDS or something from.
Well, I know it's not a permanent thing because I know I have seen people in the blood center that had tattoos.
Well, I talked with the infusion department at the hospital this morning. They're going to have me come in and get a little bit more blood.
Okay.
So let's talk about it being the end of.
They misread the dipstick when I was there last.
So let's talk about it being the end of 2025. And I would like to begin to be saying, I was there 3,000 years ago when Trump took power. Gandalf.
I'm glad this year is over, but next year is going to be just even worse.
Yeah.
Well, I expect Trump's going to get more desperate as he continues to lose power.
Oh, Did you hear what happened between him and Zelensky in this meeting the other day?
Please tell me Zelensky just went off and popped him one.
Close, actually. Apparently, after the cameras went off, they're in the Oval Office, and there's reporters and stuff in there. And after the cameras went off, Trump started yelling and screaming at Zelensky and saying the F-bomb and all these other kinds of words and telling him he should just give in to whatever Putin wants and all this kind of stuff. And Zelensky, being Zelensky, basically said, "Fuck you, and this is why." And listed every promise that he made to Ukraine that he has fallen through with, and every little subtlety of sucking up to Putin's cock, and made it very clear that you fuck you, Buster, and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for him.
Well, how much of that is Trump's dementia at this point? Because
Well, no, Trump's idea of ending the Ukraine war is that Ukraine should give some territory to Russia and give the U.S. their mineral rights.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And making an area, the entire country, a place where Donald Trump will be the ultimate supervisor of what goes on.
Yeah, Donald Trump thinks 1984's political divisions were a good thing, apparently. But we know he hasn't read 1984 because he doesn't read. So, Mage, now I'm going to ask you the question. We started with the beginning here. It's like, does Florida subscribe to the reality the rest of us subscribe to, or do they subscribe to the Wish.com version?
Pretty sure it's the Wish.com version. No, Timu's too good. Sorry for being late. Dealing with a headache.
That's okay. I was just wondering where you were.
Is there any way we can force Florida to upgrade?
Well, you can always do my idea. You to take all the Republicans, you swap them for all the Democrats in Texas.
No, actually, at this point, Texas looks like we're going to flip some seats.
Honestly, I think Texas is just where it's gerrymandered. Because if you look at the southern states, they're becoming increasingly purple. Or not states, not.
Well, it actually
counties. Sorry, go ahead.
It actually looks like Texas's attempt to gerrymander may backfire on them. Because they turned some places that were, sure to be Republican seats that had like 10% margins down to only having like 2% margins. So with people turning against Trump, some of those counties may flip.
Another state senator in Iowa won the race the other day or a week ago or whatever it is.
Yeah.
By 71% in Iowa.
Here's the thing. Performative cruelty is only fun for a little while, especially if you don't have any policies that help anyone.
Well, performative cruelty is only good until people realize that it may affect someone in their own family or someone they know.
Or, in the case of businesses, it'll affect their bottom line.
Yeah.
Have you been seeing those 4 people. It's a mom and a dad. They're obviously in their 60s. And two adult kids, a son and a daughter, who live in different parts of the country. And they're involved in this conversation about the parents being maggots and the kids being normal. And the parents are just they're in Oklahoma. The parents are absolutely fucking nuts.
Talking about necessary conversation, the channel.
I think that the guy asked them a question. The son asked them a question. If Trump ordered them to send the military into Oklahoma City or wherever they live, and wipe out everybody, would you be okay with that? And their answer is, well, yes, there must be a reason why he'd do that.
Yeah, he's evil.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, I did not see that one, but
and it's just how absolutely stupefyingly ignorant and blind these people are. That they have just absolutely no ability to think on their own.
Yeah,
Was this
I
on
saw that one?
yeah.
Was this
It's on
on
YouTube.
TikTok?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
And then on TikTok. I believe they do have a TikTok as well.
I was going to say, I'm not on, well, I am on TikTok, but I don't really use it. And there's even less of a reason to use it now. Now that not that there was much of one before, but now that Larry Ellison owns it.
There have been some more changes, and more left-wing things seem to be getting censored and punished for speaking the truth and things.
Yeah, I have noticed a lot of people starting on Clapper now.
Yeah.
After that.
TikTok now is owned like 62% by one of Trump's billionaire buddies.
Larry Ellison,
Yep.
owner of Oracle.
And 30% by some Saudi conglomerate thing.
Well, there's their channel for anybody who wants it that we were just talking about.
TikTok has always been a little more restrictive just because it was owned by a Chinese company. But the American version was freer than the Chinese version.
Well, it's still owned 20% by the Chinese, but yeah. So by all indications, TikTok is quickly going to turn into the same thing Twitter did.
And I just wish...
Successful.
Well, Twitter was always a cesspool.
Yeah, it went from a left-wing cesspool to a right-wing cesspool.
Well, it was never really a left-wing cesspool. It was always a cesspool. But now it's just an ultra-fascist cesspool.
One thing that's happening on TikTok, which bothers me greatly, is that my For You portion, the algorithm decides what things you might want to watch, has been shoving religion and Christianity in my face. Every day I get 5 to 10 new religious pages that they're trying to force me to watch. Well,
how many... Is there any reason why the algorithm might think you're interested in Christianity? Or are you like...
that's something that's been happening. Everybody's complaining about it. Is more right-wing crap on their page that they're not asking for.
I mean, it could be a tweak to the algorithm, but...
I'm sure it is. And it's intentional to start shoving that stuff down our throats.
The thing is, on Clapper, they don't really have that kind of algorithm, but every Sunday I have to start disliking like tons of like Bible videos.
I was running into an issue with on Twitter X there with it switching me back to the For You instead of following.
Another thing that's happening on Twitter, I've heard a lot of people complain about it. I've had it happen to me too, is that you follow certain accounts and the next day you're not following them anymore.
Well, I think that's the problem when, like, even YouTube will do that, where sometimes they adjust accounts that they think aren't legitimately following someone.
Oddly enough, I've actually run into the opposite problem on YouTube of it subscribing me to people I didn't follow, didn't go to.
I've been noticing that lately too.
Except on TikTok, it all happened at once, and everybody started complaining about it all at the same time.
Yeah.
It was there one day, gone, and not. It was not there. Then it was there.
I mean, I haven't cared for Oracle for years, ever since they bought out Sun Microsystems. So I do love that they lost their lawsuit to Google over Java, though. But that might be a little more computer nerdy thing most of you wouldn't have never heard about.
Didn't Java first come out of Sun?
Yes, it did, and Oracle bought out Sun.
Yeah.
But Google realized, since Sun open source Java, since they sold hardware mostly, and they put out open source software on occasion, Google said, hey, we're going to make our own Harmony, like Java engine, for like our Android phones and all that.
That used to work for Sun.
And Oracle said, oh no, you can't do that. We own this trademark.
Speaking of which, I've got a banner up here at the top of the StreamYard that says that StreamYard Inc. is being merged into its parent entity, Bending Spoons. So I don't know if that's going to be changing anything with StreamYard, but
I doubt it'll change much. I mean, they're not a content platform, so.
Yeah, they might stick a new name on their software or something.
And the URL might change. But it might be like X. Twitter wants you to like use x.com to go there. Do I ever use x.com?
Not if I have not voluntarily.
I will call it X when Trump stops misgendering his own child.
Yes, when Elon stops,
or Elon rather, sorry.
Elon stops dead naming his daughter, I'll stop dead naming his website, because the website is not a person.
Yep.
As long as he does not recognize his daughter's name, his name is no longer Elon, it's Ellen.
But I'm also pretty sure his daughter has disowned him and said, I want nothing to do with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she doesn't want anything to do with him or his money. She doesn't care.
Yeah,
which speaks highly of her.
It's kind of not a surprise.
Haven't used Twitter since July.
I usually tell it to demand Trump regime members resign.
I pretty much just use the private groups. I rarely go out into the public areas.
And call Stephen Miller Nazi Ferratu.
Oh, God, that man. I would just like to punch him in the lips so hard.
Really? I just want to put him in an airlock and press the button.
Did you hear about the Republicans doing a focus group for young voters? Trying to find out what the young Republican voters, liked about the party.
It's racism?
Well, the focus group quickly went off the rails when they started praising Hitler.
Yeah, well, the Republican Party is going to have to find a way forward without Trump. And
yeah.
For my money, they bought into him.
I'm sorry.
But go ahead, Commander.
Scary how vile all Republicans were vile, but the new ones are like times 10.
All right.
They had.
I don't know if you're done, but it's like every other word is coming through, like you're cutting out.
Yeah. Jenny, what were you trying to say there?
I was saying that in my estimation, they've allowed MAGA to buy so heavily into and really possess the Republican Party at this point that they don't have any leaders. They have a lot of middle management that's up there and is trying to pretend that they're actually doing something that isn't controlled by Trump. But they don't have. I don't think they have any leadership. When this falls apart, they're going to be wandering in the woods for a long time.
I think it is falling apart because I think it's becoming pretty clear Trump is not there anymore.
Yeah. Well, the Republican Party is coming apart, which gives the Democrats, an absolutely prime opportunity and an easy win for the midterms. However, the Republican or the Democrats are notoriously good at self-destructing. So
I can't wait. Go ahead, Jenny.
If you recall, I mentioned in the past that there's this PhD physical therapist type person who specializes in Alzheimer's patients and things, who's been talking about the actual behaviors and symptoms that Trump is showing, and predicting at the end of each of his talks that this guy's only got about 3 to 5 months amongst the living.
I mean, I would love that, but that's something I have to chalk up to confirmation bias.
He has expanded his discussion and is talking about his frontal temporal lobe dementia, which is what he's got going, not Alzheimer's. And he's cited a couple of things that specifically define it as frontal temporal dementia, and not Alzheimer's. Apparently, there's some things that this has and this doesn't.
Well,
and he's saying now that we can expect Trump to start becoming more and more unstable and yelling and screaming, which is very interesting.
And more dangerous too.
And starting to do things that are just absolutely undeniably off kilter. That he's just losing it.
Like bombing Nigeria.
And he says there is no way, even if he's not falling apart physically, there is no way he could possibly go 4 years or another 3 years and not show some of this stuff. He says he's so well on the road. And then he changes his estimate to 2 to 4 months.
I'm just saying, like, wanting Trump gone, I understand that, but I'll wait till I see it because that brings my confirmation bias, but I want him gone.
Yeah, well, I think that
I'm agreeing
wouldn't
with
have
you.
survived this long if he didn't have absolutely, access to the best healthcare in the world.
Probably not.
Well, the problem is, even without the best access, if it's just dementia, people with dementia can live for years with dementia.
Yeah.
There's different types of dementia. Frontal lobe dementia is what Bruce Willis has, and it takes you pretty quick. My dad had the shall we say standard dementia, and he lasted a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, my grandfather had dementia. He went a good 10 years.
Yeah, I've seen people with Alzheimer's go that far too.
But is the Republican Party going to do what is necessary and invoke the 25th Amendment on him? Probably not.
Probably not.
He'll probably be in office until the day he dies.
That's the point that this guy is making, is that the behavior will get to the point where it just cannot be covered for anymore. That they will either have to keep him hidden from the public 24/7 or do something about it.
Well, if they do that, it'll lead to speculation that he's dead. Because that was my favorite part of Twitter this year. The week we all thought he might be dead.
Yeah. Every day almost you see somebody saying, I woke up this morning and he's not dead yet. Oh, gosh.
Well, they'll keep him hidden away
Every
for a
day
month.
he's not there. It's sad.
So how do you guys like the response of...
Oh, I'm sorry, Jenny, go.
How do you guys like the response of the various artists of note who are canceling contracts at the Kennedy Center?
Yeah.
Well, I think they just need to say it's a breach of contract because I signed up for the Kennedy Center, not the Trump Kennedy Center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I doubt that will hold weight legally because, first of all, I don't think Trump's case will hold water legally because you can't force artists to perform for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And usually, if there's a contract, there's some sort of penalty. Suing for $1 million if it's not in the is not what most contract penalties are.
Well,
Usually
and then it's the Kennedy Memorial Center. So it can't be a memorial to Trump if he's not dead yet.
Well,
you guys heard that little board of incompetence that Trump installed made the deadly mistake of not buying the website name, the domain name.
Didn't you see I posted the link to that?
Yeah, and one of the guys from South Park owns it.
One of the South Park writers bought the domains.
Oh, great.
They've already got
Nice.
a thing up. God, what is it? Some act? I don't know if it's real or not, but something that's just real podunk.
Coming soon, the Epstein dancers was on their website.
That's it.
And if you look closely, the logo is like just a jail cell.
And apparently they're going to try to sue him, and he responded with a nice little tweet.
That's
That I can't quote it, I don't remember it, but basically said, well, this is my right, and this is my right, and this is the First Amendment, and blah 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 blah, and so I'll just sit here and watch you fuck yourself.
well, that's not what they didn't threaten to sue him, but the lawyer said, "Hey, this might provoke a legal response from the Trump administration, basically, because he's not going to like it."
Yeah.
And his response was, "Satire and parody are fair use."
Yeah.
Although with Trump, I would be more worried about an illegal response from him, like him sending ICE agents to raid him.
ICE agents harass people who aren't as influential.
My favorite part of this whole thing is, I personally associate Donald Trump with the arts deeply, don't you?
Oh yeah, the art of the con.
Athena, if you're going to be here, you have to be on camera. You know the rules.
Yep, I saw Kitty Tail.
I like the other suggestion that has come up on the web since this all happened. People are suggesting that the city of New York rename Fifth Avenue, which is the Trump Tower Avenue, to Barack Hussein Obama Avenue, so that Trump has to use that name.
That would
on
be
all of
great.
their addressing.
Yeah,
Biden Avenue. There you go.
Trump would have to put that on all of his letterheads for that building.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. So I copied the meme and I sent it to
Athena.
Zoran Mamdani and all the major news outlets.
All right, Athena, you've been on camera long enough.
Maybe somebody will say, "Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let's do that." Somebody also made a meme where they labeled Trump Tower, the Barack Hussein Obama over Trump Tower.
Really?
Yeah. So I sent
saw
that.
that.
I sent that to POTUS.
Because what I want to do is actually suggest to the local mayor here that I think we should rename our new SOAR system the Donald J. Trump Memorial SOARs.
Or the Donald J. Trump water treatment plant.
Yeah, the Donald J. Trump wastewater facility.
There is one named after John Oliver.
Yes, there is.
I forget
Because-
what city that is.
I think it's somewhere in Connecticut where they just didn't like something he did. And they were like, we're going to name this the John Oliver
He just make a joke about it.
He did.
How about the Donald J. Trump landfill?
Of course, the Trump Tower, New York, I believe, is now underwater because of all the money Trump owes on it, and he didn't own the land. The land it's on actually was leased, and the lease has come due. So he
Nice.
owes something like, 320 million on the lease.
Well, he could afford it. His family has stolen about $800 billion, or $8 billion in dealings in the first year of his presidency here.
Yeah.
So
It's
he
just
can afford
between
it.
the lease and the taxes. He now owes more on the building than what the building is worth.
Does anyone remember the good old days when we thought Dan Quayle would be the dumbest politician the Republicans Party ever produced?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
he
we
messed
replaced
up
that
in
with
his
George W.
spelling bee.
Bush.
Yeah, when we thought George W. Bush would be the worst president in history.
I mean, he wasn't good, but I don't think he would be the worst. I mean, because we've had some pretty bad presidents, even before Donald Trump.
Well, he was at least the worst in living memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is in
Now
mine.
Trump is.
I'll give him the second worst president of the 21st century so far.
I go back
And
to
that image
Eisenhower.
is just the.
Who is this? That's somebody adding a cartoon here.
Yeah. It's the memorial toilets.
Ah,
The Trump Memorial Porta Potties.
I
mean,
I go back to Eisenhower in terms of lifespan, but Nixon in terms of voting. And Trump is hands down the absolute worst by far.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that includes Nixon's criminal activities.
Well, Trump's criminal
actually-
activities dwarf Nixon.
yeah, Trump's disapproval rating is now actually higher than Nixon's was after Watergate.
Donald Trump has the best disapproval ratings. Huge disapproval ratings. You won't believe how big they are.
Is that another one?
The biggest.
That should be
the
another one of your
biggest.
skips for. Yeah, that should be another one of your skits for Clapper.
Trump.
Yeah.
What a sack of shit. God, how can one person just be so absolutely disgusting?
Being totally lacking in any kind of empathy.
He's a malignant narcissist.
It's just
Textbook sociopath.
He
You know,
is
there's
the
a-
embodiment of a good portion of his voters. They're as rotten as he is.
there's a story that goes around that has witnesses and people who are still alive and actually watched it happen, of him when he was a kid throwing rocks at an infant in a crib.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hadn't heard that one, but
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go find it because that's a pretty bold statement I made. So I'm gonna go find it. Be right back.
Well, I mean, I don't. When it comes to sites like TikTok, I don't trust a lot of what I see there. So,
Yeah.
or YouTube for that matter,
One
either. But
thing they are doing is they're searing to try to get voter data, and then they're passing that voter data on to things like the IRS, and you can get what they're going to be trying to do.
yeah.
They're going to be trying to charge people with bullshit before the election so they can't vote,
well, he's trying to
even if
intimidate.
it doesn't hold up in court.
Intimidation is a well-known fascist tactic, and that's what they're trying to do even with ICE. But unfortunately, I don't think Trump realized he's often pissed off the people who he thinks would be on his side. Because having a skin tone that's not darker doesn't mean I'm going to favor what Trump's doing.
Well, but they did until recently.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes?
This is from WGBH in Boston's website.
Okay.
And it's just a couple of brief paragraphs.
I found it.
October 17, 2022. In her new book, New York Times journalist Maggie Haberman offers a meticulously detailed account of the life and career of former President Donald Trump, which, yes, includes reporting on his days as a child terror. Quote, He did not have a great reputation in the neighborhood as a kid, unquote, Haberman said on GBH's public radio. One of the several accounts from Trump's early childhood included a story of a mother who found the would-be president pelting rocks at her son's crib in her Queens backyard. Quote, she starts hearing the baby screaming, and when she comes outside and a roughly 5-year-old Donald Trump is throwing rocks at the crib. She said, I guess you can allow that. Maybe initially he didn't realize there was a baby there. I don't know, unquote. Trump, of course, says that she's not legit and a third-rate reporter and probably ugly and stupid. And
Oh, yes, of course.
She is a woman and all.
Speaking
okay, I don't think that's. If you have been charged with a felony, you have lost your right to vote.
I think you have to be convicted of a felony.
Well,
but if you,
that's a state decision. Each state does that differently.
and being in jail is different from being in a prison.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people in jail still have the right to vote.
Yeah, because a lot of people are sitting in jail still waiting for their hearing, waiting for their trial.
But keep in mind, a lot of the immigration agenda is being driven by Nazi fraudu. And
Damn, what?
and my favorite thing.
Sorry. I had.
Yeah, you're still roboting a little. I don't know if is it. Are you on a wireless mic or something?
It was that I have a delay, and I talk, and then you started talking during the delay or whatever, and I just stopped talking so that you could continue.
Yeah, Commander's sounding better. Anyway, Purpose, what were you saying?
A lot of the immigration agenda right now is being driven by Nazi Ferratu Miller. And one of my favorite things about it is even with his aggressive ICE policies, he is still not hitting the numbers he wants, and it was still higher under Obama and Biden when they were doing things the right way.
Yep.
His goal is to deport like 3 million a year, I think it was.
I want to. I don't think it's that high, but it's pretty high.
Oh, I just read this on the last 24 hours. I know it was 3 million.
But I think the great thing is he is not hitting that quota.
The
And he
latest,
wants to deport citizens, if he could.
they are working on that to cancel the naturalized citizens citizenship, to strip them of citizenship, which is rather inconvenient. There was a guy who did a little talk about it on his site, and he was saying that, look, I was born while my parents were overseas serving in Italy, military base in Italy. Except the base we were at did not have the kind of medical services to handle his mother's pregnancy and birth. So they had to go to a local Italian hospital, and he was not born on quote unquote American soil. So to this day, he carries an Italian birth certificate. He has to go through all kinds of rigmarole anytime he wants any kind of passport or anything like that, and is technically a naturalized citizen. And so his naturalized citizenship could theoretically be stripped. And he said, mine never will be because I'm white.
He's probably correct about that.
Yeah, it does, sadly.
And then they want to go after, if they're able to go after naturalized citizens, then the next step is birthright citizens. Prove that your parents were naturalized.
The thing is, I think they're getting more desperate because they realize Trump is losing it.
Yeah. Well, they're also having great problems with recruiting ICE agents.
Well, who wants to be a mindless thug?
Well, a lot of people want to be, but they're being disqualified because they usually have criminal records.
Well, who
And
wants to
those
be a
gravy deals.
who wants to be a mindless thug that needs to pay off their student loans? Because if you're a mindless thug, you probably don't have student loans.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing about student loans is you could buy a house on a 50-year mortgage and pay that off before the student loans.
Athena, I know you don't have student loans.
But yeah, that ICE has basically gotten so desperate that they're taking anyone with a pulse, and in quite a few cases, they're already outfitting people and putting them on the squad before the criminal background checks are done. So later finding out that, oh, you've got a violent felony, you don't qualify.
But I also don't think I think a lot of people just don't care for them right now, and I think that's hurt their recruitment goals too. It's like,
Oh yeah,
well,
that's what I mean. Anybody who has any ethics already knows what they do and doesn't want to be part of it.
Maybe a bunch of people with ethics should join in them and undermine them from within.
I think
it's pretty significant that this Thomas Massey guy, I forget, he's a senator or a rep. I just haven't paid attention enough. But he's definitely a MAGA Republican. And he is standing up very strongly in this Epstein case. But you know that he's a one topic kind of guy because he is still pushing all the other MAGA bullshit.
Well, the thing is, we already knew Trump was in the Epstein files. We already
There
knew.
be Russian oligarchs in the Epstein files too.
We
Thank you, Robin Hood.
And and the whole thing is, I didn't care that much until Trump was so adamant they not be released.
Yeah.
That's because he wants to take them on a boat ride on Lake Michigan and toss them in.
Yeah.
Didn't they toss a baby into Lake Michigan?
I believe that's what she was referencing.
That's the I have to say rumor because at this point the only evidence we have came from the Epstein files, but that's not a piece of evidence. That's a tip sheet from the FBI.
It is the testimony of one of the survivors who says she was 14 at the time.
I have heard that Lake Michigan kills more people than any other Great Lake.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Because that's where the Chicago Mafia was dumping them all those decades.
Well, the source I was using referred to rip currents, but
there's people who die every year. Having lived on the coast and hearing all the coastal towns news and stuff like that. There's people who are killed in the what do you call those? The not wharfs, but
rip currents.
No, the jetties that are manufactured, the concrete things that stick out, the breakwaters. I'm sorry. Thinking that they can go swimming off of there because you can just climb down on the rocks, and then getting smashed to death against the rocks.
But hey. Lake Michigan has been shark-free for 50 million years.
Not according to a friend of mine. She actually thinks that there's whales and sharks in Lake Michigan and Superior.
They need salt water, so no.
Well, there are freshwater dolphins, so there could theoretically be freshwater other stuff.
I think freshwater sharks exist too, but they're like way. I think they're in the tropics.
This woman is my age, and she's of reasonable intelligence, and I just don't understand how somebody can grab a rumor like that and make it part of their whole concept of what's real and what's not. No, there are no whales in Lake Superior.
Well, ask her if she can locate where the Marquette and Bessemer number 2 is.
The Marquette what?
Marquette and Bessemer number 2.
Oh, a ship that sunk?
It's a ship that sunk on Lake Erie, but when it sank, there were rumors that it was on both sides of the lake, which it couldn't have been, and no one knows where it is.
Well, maybe it
Well, it
broke
should-
in half.
That shouldn't be hard to find. It Lake Erie is so shallow.
Yeah, but it's been missing since like 1909. And no, it didn't. We can be pretty sure how this ship sunk because it was a railroad ferry, but it didn't have like any way to close the back.
Oops.
So it probably got swamped during the storm it sank in.
It probably got swallowed by one of the whales.
Or that. But Lake Erie is pretty shallow. I don't think there'd be whales there.
This same friend also believes that the entire sky over Lake of the Woods is a no-fly zone. You can't even take airplanes over that. Well, yes, you can.
Okay.
I mean, I had no idea if she was correct, and so I had to check it out. And it took quite a long time to find the correct answer.
Also,
there is a no-fly zone for aircraft below 4,000 feet.
Also, ask her if she can provide a proof that P either equals NP or does not equal NP.
I don't even understand that one.
Okay, as long as there's not a Shane in there, there is a whale.
Are you talking about
I don't get
transistors,
that
PNP or versus NPN type transistors?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's an unsolved problem in computer science.
Oh, this is a woman who struggles if she's going to transfer a file.
That doesn't mean she can't provide a mathematical proof that either the set of problems that can be solved in polynomial time is equal to the set of problems that can be solved in non-deterministic polynomial time, or there's one particular problem that cannot be reduced to polynomial time.
Yeah, you're talking about somebody who's worse at math than I am. And I admit to having about a third grade ability.
Listen. Honestly, if I could solve that, I would have claimed the $1 million prize for it already. And given like John von Neumann was talking about it in the 1950s and it's been unsolved for decades, I'm not going to solve it either.
Well, you might. You just have to apply yourself.
You cut out, Jenny. Or I did.
You cut out.
I said you just have to apply yourself.
All right, it was on my end. Yeah, no, I'm not going to solve P versus NP.
But wouldn't you be famous and get an award in mathematics if you did?
I certainly hope not. Well, it is technically a math problem, but it's an unsolved problem in computer science. If I were to solve it, I would probably be the most famous computer scientist in the world for a time.
So the most famous person that no one had ever heard of?
Computer scientist would hear of it. It's like
Yeah, but it's not really the kind of thing that gets you on the talk show circuit.
No. Nor would it get me on Joe Rogan. Now, if I said 1 times 1 equals 3, that would get me on Joe Rogan.
Did you hear that even Joe Rogan has started to question Trump?
Sort of.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
He questions certain things that have been, in the news and that sort of thing, but he still does not step back and recognize his responsibility in helping get that bastard elected to begin with.
Yeah, well, at the end, he always fills something in saying he still supports Trump. But, yeah, he has been, questioning some things about some of the policies.
Slim, I gave up on commenting on Shani for Christ a long time ago and would rather just pretend she doesn't exist. Much like G-Man and a couple of the other people I got exposed to.
What's a Shani the whale?
She's a YouTuber called Shani for Christ.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did not get what that reference was either.
Yeah, she's well. One of the reasons that a lot of people have not engaged with her in a while is that she seems to have legitimate, like, mental illness issues, and there are still some people who deliberately, egg her on, knowing that, which I think is kind of slimy.
Yeah.
Listen, I came in through the drama community when it became initially, and just I pulled away from it, and I don't need to go after the locals. It's like Shani for Christ likely has bipolar disorder. Her husband, I feel sorry for, actually, but it's like people got really obsessed over every little thing she did. Although there was an interesting story a while back where her GPS took her down like railroads or something, and that made like BuzzFeed or something.
Well, I had that happen last time I drove through downtown St. Paul, and this was like 10 years ago. But the maps in my GPS were out of date, so the street it told me to turn on had at that point been converted to a light rail.
Well, honestly, people die in Death Valley every year because like the GPS systems mistake like the patterns that dry up for actual roads.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with GPS, but actually at Walmart on Sunday, I wound up in the, well, I said that, but I actually wound up in the mud because Walmart did not put enough light out there. It was dark. There was a thunderstorm.
Yep.
And I did not see that the parking lot had ended.
I had that happen to me once in a heavy snowstorm that I was trying to turn into a parking lot, but apparently I missed the driveway apron and wound up in the grass next to it.
Yeah, I had to call a tow truck to pull me out. I was not happy with that, but
Yeah, well, I got lucky because there was a guy with a big pickup truck there, so we just threw a tow strap on and he yanked me out.
and as the brainless steel, it's like, yeah, I would just rather forget those. Those people are better off without my attention, and the local community, whatever they call themselves, are generally toxic people to begin with. Not all of them, but a lot of them are.
Yeah, if somebody has a, actually diagnosable medical condition, yeah, it's not right to go after them.
Well, I mean, Shani for Christ has done some questionable things too, but
Hello, Savage Minnow.
Hey, Minnow.
Howdy, howdy.
but it's also, if I suspect someone's a malignant narcissist, the best thing you can do is just ignore them.
Yeah.
And Shani does not follow that, but
So Brainless Steel is trying to get us onto our actual topic, being that tonight is New Year's Eve.
well, Brainless, I actually plan on going out to a local bar tonight. And eating some wings, and maybe, I think that's one of our karaoke bars, so.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Shining, so that's lost on me.
Well, I don't think you need to see the movie just to get the idea here. It's like we've been lied to by so many years. Like, you're really going to believe this one's going to be okay. Every year since 2020, we've been saying, well, it's got to be better than last year.
I'm going to be honest. I'm actually doing better this year than I was last year. It's just the political parts that have made it a terrible year.
That's still bad enough.
Unfortunately, my finances have taken some serious hits this year, so it's going to take me quite a while to pay off all my credit cards now. And I used to be able to pay off the full balance every month.
I have a credit card that only has a $300 limit, so. I just paid it off.
Yeah, well, mostly I got set back by some vet bills, especially with Petunia dying.
Oh.
I'll do it.
Speaking... And if... Actually, is this stream monetized?
No.
Oh, no, my channel's never going to be monetized. Don't worry about it.
Well, if you have the watch hours, you can apply and people can super chat you, but yeah. I would probably use coffee or something if you wanted to do a fundraiser like that, because coffee takes considerably less.
Yeah, the super chats they take 30%.
Yeah. Yeah, YouTube is greedy. So,
What does TikTok take, Jenny? I think it's more like Clapper system where you buy coins and like half of that goes back to the creator.
well, right now for me, all I have is my supporters on Patreon here, which I'm still surprised to have any Patreon supporters. I had only created an account there to make sure that nobody could use my name on it. But yeah, I've got a group of loyal supporters there, and it does help.
I'm sure Deep State Annex, I'm sure as long as the Geek Room and the other people are around, Shanny for Christ will be around too.
I'm sorry, I had a call I had to take care of.
But I have to wonder, is young Pharaoh still around? That guy was nuts, but he was funny.
Who is that?
It was a YouTuber named Young Pharaoh.
Yes, I never saw him.
That doesn't ring a bell for me either.
It's okay if you never heard him, but he went on about like how the vaccine had tracking chips that they were giving you and in 5G, and all the while posting all of this from his cell phone.
Yeah.
So what do people think about the current distraction bullshit that's going on with Trump and the Minnesota childcare fraud?
It's not, no one, as far as I can tell, no one who isn't MAGA is buying it.
Well, that would be nice if that's true.
Well, the problem is MAGA is still a sizable portion of this country.
It's about 30%.
Yeah. Although actually it's it has been going down. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but yeah, we're getting more and more MAGA people who are saying that they regret voting for Trump this last time around.
Yeah.
Well, for the people out in chat who maybe have only heard little pieces of it, the most critical piece of information to know about it is that all of these fraud cases happened during the Trump's last administration.
Mm-hmm.
And the state of Minnesota investigated, charged, tried, and convicted 92 people as part of the ring, as well as their fearless leader, who was a white woman, not a Somali, and that she's in prison, and all those other people are in prison, and and as a result of it, they increased their safeguards against catching that stuff in the future, and tried to make it safer and not let it happen again. And so everything that Trump is doing about that is total bullshit. What he has done just now is frozen the entire budget for the state of Minnesota, and so now there's a whole bunch of people who are not going to even get paid this week.
Well,
it's pretty low down below the belt stuff.
Well, also, if the Republicans don't pass another budget by the end of January, we could go into another government shutdown.
Won't that be fun?
And so far, the Republicans have not even begun trying to negotiate anything.
No, of course not.
Yeah. So they can't pass it without at least a few Democratic votes. And they haven't even talked to any of the Democrats about what they want to do.
Well, they don't want to do anything.
Yeah, well, and also, the Democrats hopefully will all recognize that in the last round, the Republicans promised virtually nothing and still didn't deliver.
Apparently, Mike Johnson was caught on a hot mic or something like that, saying that they have no intention of bringing up the ACA budget issues at all. So they've pretty much just signed their own death warrant, I think, with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, the Democrats could have a real easy time in the midterms, but
I'm sure they'll find
I'm
a way to
afraid
fuck
they're
it up.
still going to screw it up. Because all the Democrats need to do at this point is not talk about the culture war issues because they can't win those anyway, and just talking about things that actually matter to, medium to low income people. Just start talking about the economy, start talking about, how people can't afford food and what they plan to do that would help that.
The Democratic Party's leadership is in absolute disarray and completely sucks. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have got to go.
Well, and the Democrats are going to have to do something they don't want to do, but worked in New York.
Be effective?
Well, they're going to have to actually offer some actually progressive candidates instead of just corporate people.
Well, that's why you need to get rid of the leadership, because those are the people who steer that boat.
Listen, I for one can't wait to see how the Democrats snatch defeat from the jaws of victory yet again.
Yeah.
Although don't be so quick with that. Every election this year, the Democrats have absolutely kicked ass.
Yeah, in the small elections.
There's been like one Trump guy who got in.
Yep.
In some red state, and that's it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though, is that when it comes to the national elections, they're going to have to offer some candidates who actually have some ideas about how to improve, life for the average American.
And if they don't, we're just going to end up with Republicans next time around.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go off on a tangent. I don't mean the kind that you get when you divide sine by cosine. But did anyone see the Has-Been Hotel
No,
this
I don't
season?
watch it.
First of all, well, I can't say you should, but it is funny. And it's convinced me that hell has much better music than heaven.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Oh, we already knew that.
It's those miserable psalms. They're so depressing.
But there's a line the big bad of this season speaks that I'm like, really? And he just says, we're going to make hell great again.
Hi, Molly.
Hey,
I'm
Molly.
like, I was like, really? You're not even trying to make him anything like Trump, and you're going to include this line.
Hey, Molly, are you going to come and get your kid, or do I have to keep him until next year? Molly's son is in the next room right now. He stayed the night.
Is anybody planning any amateur night festivities?
I was thinking about it.
Amateur night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any plans for tonight.
Yeah, we have two national amateur nights: New Year's Eve and St. Patrick's Day.
It's good to do amateur night on the nights that people will be the most drunk and not know how badly you suck.
Oh, you're saying karaoke or open mic stand-up comedy?
Either one.
Listen, karaoke is not about being good. And if you've ever heard me sing, that's how I justify doing it to myself.
I can't. I'm just too hung up about how bad I sound. I cannot sing at all.
I have thought that I should practice some Beatles songs because I would still suck at it, but I might be able to hold Ringo Starr's accent through an entire song.
Yeah. Just do some pop punk where it's okay if you sound angry.
Oh, I want to do all the K-pop demon karaoke.
Oh, yeah. K-pop Demon has exploded in popularity so much that in the coming year, there will even be Lego sets of them.
It wasn't even that good a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
People liked it, but I didn't think it was that good.
I agree with you, Porpoise. So
I
it was
actually
so-so.
think the number of the musics are kind of nice. I like.
I haven't seen the movie, but from the synopsis I've seen, it seems kind of a standard plot that's been used in a lot of cartoons.
On the other hand, it has pissed off some Christian channels, so that's going for it.
Mm.
Well, they're fighting demons.
No. It's sympathetic towards demons.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought they were fighting the demons.
Well, they are. Sort
They
of.
are. Mage can probably explain it better, but from what I understand of the plot, one of them finds out they are a demon.
Ah,
Half
Oh.
demon.
Oh no, that's tragic. It's really just another anime girl group, isn't it?
Sort of.
I don't know if I'd call them anime because it's
Yeah, I don't think it's anime, but it does kind of have a slight resemblance to the style.
yeah, but
Because-
animated anyway.
it's more like Ruby or WYB,
Yeah.
that style. And I think the same studio did Red versus Blue.
Ah, that was a fun series. I was watching that.
So they made a movie about the American political system?
No, Red versus Blue. It takes place in the Halo universe. And it starts out where they're just like two basically like PvP teams essentially going against each other. But then it gets into its own plot, its own setting, and
Yeah. Yeah, the first team is just, or the first season is just these two teams.
cut
trying
out
to
again,
beat
and I
each
think it's on my end.
bases.
It's on your end, Porpoise.
You were saying purple?
I was just commenting about Red versus Blue, but nothing important. Okay, Brainless Steel Set's another movie showing how bad racism is. Okay, but what's MHGA?
Make hell great again.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't piecing that together right.
Yeah, I saw that pop up. Yeah, during the Has Been Hotel discussion.
Hey, I would wear a hat that says that. I have to wonder if you could start selling like the red, like MAGA style hats with different sayings. Like that one would be a good one.
Make America gross again.
Be a nice human was one I saw.
Yeah, but they can't afford the mega hats anymore because the tariff to import them from China is too high.
It's always tickled me how Trump has always been, we need to bring manufacturing back to America again, but his gear is all from China.
Yeah. Well,
but don't you know there's been all sorts of factories that have opened up now since he came into office because he said so.
Name one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't-
well, a group that Trump is using now is the farmers, because they're realizing that Trump has killed the export markets without any plan on how to rebuild trade between nations.
Now, there was that one Korean car manufacturer that could have opened a plant. If that
What?
MAGA congresswoman hadn't been such an idiot and called ICE on them.
Oh, that one.
Well, the plant was open, but yeah, that
No, it was,
they had.
it was still
What
under
was that?
construction.
The Hyundai.
It was
Ah,
still under
okay.
construction, but due to open relatively soon.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
talking about a different story,
Yeah,
rather
and they-
than one where the factory got raided and.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
it was Korean people. I think it's the same story. Korean people came in
Yeah.
to train new workers. They were there legally, but some MAGA congresswoman or running for Congress called ICE, and Kia said, "You know what? We're just going to shut this factory down."
yeah,
all the people that they yanked were there because they felt they needed specialized personnel to install their own equipment,
yeah.
production equipment, and that's primarily who left. They weren't into production yet, but everything else is correct. That Kia just said, "Well, fuck you. If we can't depend on," because all of these people were here legitimately. They all had
Yeah.
the proper visas and paperwork.
Yeah.
And they weren't just assembly line workers. These were, like well-trained technical people.
Mm-hmm.
And there were people that were going to go back anyway.
Yeah.
I really hope that woman lost her campaign, though.
Okay. Anything good happening today? There's a good question.
I have my harmonica and I'm not playing it. Is that good?
Yes, my bubble blowing thing is working really well.
Hey, Porpoise, if you play Christian music on it, does it become a hymn monica?
Hmm.
But
I only know Mormon hymns, so I don't know if that counts as Christian music.
That counts.
It depends which group of Christians you ask whether or not Mormons count.
Yes, because they're just another religion that's as insane as all the others.
Yeah, but
There's not one
remember that
religion I've ever heard of.
evangelicals think that Catholics aren't Christian.
There's not one religion I've ever heard of that has any sort of rationality in its existence.
Yeah, but I only know one religion where if you ask them what planet God lives on, they can tell you.
Well, that's true.
I
What's
guess
to be-
they have an advantage there, yes.
But then again, that is a religion that baptizes people after they're dead. So
Okay, your hangout? Okay.
Oh,
Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah. Molly's here to pick up her son, so he's just heading out now. Oh, you bug.
bring Sinister back in.
well, she apparently has some kind of minor emergency to deal with.
Yeah, I don't see her back quite yet.
No.
So, yeah, as far as activities tonight, I just,
There's Porpoise.
maybe I will be toasting tonight in by giving my cats the juice from a tuna can.
sorry, fire alarm went off and I had to take care of something quickly.
Yeah,
Yep.
that happens.
I have to step away for just a minute. I'll be right back.
But at least it was a legitimate reason for it to go off. So
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna make red beans and rice and biscuits tonight. Homemade biscuits.
really, I plan on having garlic parmesan wings at the bar and grill I'm going to.
I had made beans and rice a couple of nights ago. I just finished off the last of them last night. That went along with me, making the turkey burritos.
Oh, hold on.
I was thinking about maybe seeing it by live stream. For the New Year's. I don't know if anybody would be interested.
No, I always either take a tour around the world, which I'm too late to start now. It's already underway, and watch all the New Year's fireworks from around the different cities, and or I just go to bed at night and say, "Fuck it, it's just another goddamn day."
You joined me last year on the live stream.
Yeah, not this year.
Yeah.
I'm still recovering from my own sickness and.
And considering I'm dealing with a headache all day here, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it.
Kind of missed where I used to go because they had like a buffet or like they had like a breakfast at the end of like the New Year's celebration.
I have improved a little bit though. I used to only been able to go about 10 feet without having to sit down. Now I can go almost 15 feet without having to sit down.
All right, small improvement.
Well, take progress as it comes, I suppose.
So keep adding that training data and let us know when you're ready to like be fed your testing data.
Mine?
Yes, keep feeding yourself that training data and we'll feed your testing data when you're ready.
Okay.
And I'm hearing myself on the...
Hey, don't underrate it. That's not a small improvement. That's a 50% improvement.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
There's not enough.
Actually,
I have this super tiny kitchen, and it's so tiny I can't even get a chair in it. And so I can't stand up long enough to make myself dinner, so I have to sit down and do a lot of the preparation. So I've got this chair just outside the doorway to my kitchen where I have to open the cans and do this and do that, and then go back in and do a final mix and put it in the oven and stuff.
In the past, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
In the past, on nights like on New Year's Eve, I used to like watch Army of Darkness and get like a stromboli from the local pizza place.
That sounds good.
Actually, for a long time, I have traditionally toasted in the new year with somebody having a live stream, which is one of the things I miss. That with the flat screens, you can't clink the glass against the screen the way you could with the CRT. It just doesn't make the same resonance.
Dapper's doing one tonight.
I really wish I could.
There'd be a couple people in our community who would be.
I really was going to say, I really wish I could stop thinking of his Draper dinosaur. But no need to explain that. That's a long time ago now. Water under the bridge.
Draper?
Would that be a reference to Mad Men?
No, that would be a reference to someone misquoting the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy.
Ah, okay.
Phil Bros. I love Phil.
I don't know. It probably can't be that too long ago, and I still think of Jackson Weed as the whale penis guy.
And it doesn't even have anything to do with Dapper Dinosaur, so it's not his fault.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard of the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, but I'd like to add it to the bookcase behind me, but I haven't found it in any bookstores.
Yeah, that's okay.
Amazon has it.
I didn't need to call that person Petty Officer Shipwreck for a couple years either. Which, if you're in the Navy, you know what shipwreck is slang for. So,
No, I
So
wasn't
what
in the
is
Navy. What is
shipwreck
it?
slang for?
shipwreck is slang for a screw up in the Navy.
Okay. And by the way, Jenny, that the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy is strictly an online resource.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So it doesn't exist for me to put on my bookcase.
Well, it could exist. You could print it out yourself and bind it.
I would never look because I am very anti-philosophy. I mean, I think philosophy has definitely helped us in lots of ways, culturally and educationally, but it's so misused today by these 19, 20-year-olds who think they can take an argument that's going on or a debate that's going on and derail it by starting to argue philosophical terms and definitions. And, well, you're not doing this. Don't talk about the process, dude. Talk about the issue. Grow up. Shut up. Hey, Steph.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hi,
Hey,
Stephanie.
Just stopping by to say Happy New Year, almost. Really.
Yep, we made it through one more.
Happy almost New Year.
Sometimes I get to wondering why we keep trying, but we're still here.
I think that's because each of you forgot to burn your Bayberry candles on the eve of the New Year and the eve of Christmas.
I did fail to make a new batch of moon water. You're right.
Okay, it has to be bayberry candles. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, that's because I think it was done in like the colonial eras, especially the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, where they just were looking for something to make candles out, and the only thing they found in the New World was bayberry. So it became a tradition to burn bayberry candles on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve.
Well, I was only burning pine candles on the solstice.
And there's a little rhyme that goes along with it, so. A bayberry candle burnt to the socket brings health to the home and wealth to the pocket.
Oh, more bullshit.
I think it brings wealth to the people who sell bayberry candles as well.
I think that was. Considering the bayberry candles were more expensive produced from chandlers. Is it chandlers? People make candles. I think, it would bring more wealth to them.
Well, Yankee candles, you can buy your bayberry candles for $6. Oh, they're out of stock.
Is this bayberry that you're talking about the same as like in cooking bay leaves?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to make my old candles by just melting down paraffin and all the broken crayons.
Besides, I'm pretty sure it's just something that's done in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic and maybe some parts of the South. Because it doesn't belong to any specific country. I think it was just a colonial tradition that got started. So who's listening to their weather radio?
No, I haven't even
I'm
looked at
not.
the weather forecast for today.
Actually, one of the gifts I got for this Christmas wasn't weather radio. Which actually did come in handy because the day I came back, or the day after I came back, we were under a tornado watch here.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
I have one. And we're supposed to get some more snow today, but I don't think it's going to amount to much.
No, but it's supposed to get up to the 40s towards the end of the week.
But I was going to say probably my favorite. And then I found some gifts I intended to give my sister's cat and her dog that I forgot to take with me.
Happy New Year, Brian.
Here our highs are only in the teens and the 20s right through the weekend.
That's pretty much what it is here, too.
Let's see. When I have to go back to work, what's it supposed to be like?
It's almost like our weather becomes your weather. It's amazing.
Partly cloudy.
Incredible.
Could you guys up north keep your cold weather? I was liking my 75 to 80 degree weather.
What's that here, mate? You want some more cold weather? Sure, I'll be happy to send you some from Indiana. I mean, it won't even be as bad as what Jenny or Purple will send you.
You know, every Christmas I try to send some of our snow down to Australia, but they tell me all they get are soggy boxes.
Stephanie, can you send a nor'easter this way, please?
Which way would I have to send it? The only place a northeaster can go from here is northeast. So if you move to Nova Scotia, I can oblige you.
Lake Superior turned into a full-blown nor'easter up there. Did you hear about that, Steph?
What was that? No, I did not.
This
I know
weather system
obviously.
that's just coming or just hit you guys. When it was here, it was they were cautioning against 30-foot waves on Lake Superior.
Right. Well, I know
30-foot waves
The
on
lakes
a
can
lake.
get really. Well, it's a big lake. It's a superior lake.
I know, but holy fuck! And Lake Erie, I hear went absolutely bananas. It's such a shallow lake. It's easy for the wind to get that going.
Both Erie and Ontario can really pile them up real
So
fast because they're both fairly shallow.
Yeah, they're mostly just swamps.
No, they're more than
Us who
that.
live around the real lakes.
Well,
Which lake has more shipwrecks, Superior or Erie?
I would bet Erie would,
That would be correct.
but they'd be
I
easier
would
to
bet
find
Erie
because
would.
it's only 15 feet deep.
I just told you there's one ship they haven't found that went down in a storm in I think it was 1909.
They're still finding wrecks that went down that they didn't know where they went.
Yeah.
In Lake Michigan and Superior, they just found another one in Lake Superior.
Was that the Western Reserve?
I think that might be it. I forgot the name.
But there are over 600 wrecks that they know the locations of in Lake Superior.
Yeah.
You know, everything from modern day all the way back to colonial times.
This woman has figured out some technique using drones and polarizing lenses and other crap, and she is finding wrecks off the coast of Wisconsin in Lake Michigan.
I also think they found the Henry Steinbrenner a few years ago. But I know way more of that than I need to because I don't live near any of the Great Lakes.
I've always lived on the Great Lakes. I've lived in 4 different states, and I've always been on at least one of the Great Lakes.
Now, you were a trader for a while out in New York.
I was still on the Great Lakes.
I was going to say, Erie borders New York.
Yep.
And Pennsylvania.
Well, I thought you were in New York City.
No, I was in Syracuse, which is actually in the middle of the state. So I wasn't quite on the lake. It was like an hour drive to Buffalo to be on the lake.
Yeah, this is the furthest away I've been from any of the Great Lakes in my life.
Well, and
It's
even
upsetting,
here, you know,
actually.
I'd have to drive up to Duluth to actually be on Superior. But
I don't know. It was so nice for me to see the Susquehanna River again over Christmas.
I miss the smell of Lake Michigan.
I like that somebody took my idea and it actually worked. I've been saying that, you know, I would row a canoe across Lake Superior if somebody in Canada could grant me sanctuary. And apparently there was a guy who rowed a kayak across the Delaware River into Canada.
Does the Delaware River border Canada?
Huh?
Hold on. I don't think the Delaware River goes to Canada.
Well, that's the report I heard, was it was the Delaware River. And this was a report by the, you know, Canada CBC. So it was a legitimate source. But he rowed his kayak across, and he just walked and waited in a Tim Hortons until a police officer came in.
Well, you can do that just north of you at Lake of the Woods.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
And, well, when his hearing came up, the judge in Canada basically said, we've got no idea how to handle this, so we're going to give you a 2-year resident alien visa while we figure it out.
Okay, yeah, the Delaware River does not go to Canada. I already knew this.
There's a couple towns up in Maine that are on the border, half in Canada, half in America.
Yeah, there's a town in Vermont that the international border runs right through their library. So the front door of the library is in the U.S. and the back door of the library is in Canada.
Oh,
So you got to make sure that you go out the same door you came in, or the border guards will come after you.
So the backside of the library doesn't have to censor all this crap.
Yep. Yeah, they literally have
that's where they keep the good stuff.
They literally have the line painted on the floor in the library.
But I'm also pretty sure that librarians aren't paying too much attention to that if they can get away with it. Because librarians are actually...
they say that nobody will hassle you if you go to a bookshelf on the other side. You just can't leave out the wrong door.
Librarians are actually pretty subversive people.
Yep. Well, when I was growing up, the library was my only sanctuary. I was bullied at school. I was bullied at home. The library was the only place I could feel safe. So, I spent as much time as possible. And then when I was raising kids, I pretty much raised my kids in the libraries and museums.
Okay, so the Aroostook Valley Country Club is a golf course that is divided by the U.S.-Canadian border.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens if you slice it and your ball goes off into the wrong country?
The course is the course itself is, I believe, entirely on the U.S. side, but in order to get to it, you have to go into Canada in order to access it.
So since it couldn't have been the Delaware, I wonder which river it actually was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But like I say, that was a report from the CBC in Canada. So, this wasn't just an internet rumor.
No, it could have been the St. John. That's St. John forms the border of Maine and Canada.
Yeah.
So,
well,
my
I thought
question
they said
is
the Delaware River. Maybe they just said he came from Delaware.
That might have been it. Go ahead, my unfinished journey.
So, Stephanie, my question is, which side of the border is the clubhouse on?
The clubhouse is, I don't know, let's see. The parking lot and pro shop are on the American side. The golf course, I'm sorry, the golf course does straddle the border.
Yep. I know that there was a bar that straddled the state line between Illinois and Wisconsin. And that was a big deal because for a number of years, Illinois had raised the drinking age to 21, but Wisconsin's drinking age was still 18.
Yeah, the reason I ask is in Athens, Georgia, where I'm from, there's a country club where most of the clubhouse is in Clark County, but most of the course is in, I think, Oglethorpe County, which is a dry county. So that's why the clubhouse is where it is.
Well, as you can imagine, during Prohibition, that golf course was a really popular spot.
Was this
because you could they would allow you to cross into, they would allow you to cross the border without clearing customs.
Was this guy doing the whole using the river crossing thing in a recent story, Purple?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
I think I found it.
So what was
West,
it was
Michigan,
sometime this year. I forget how many months ago.
West Michigan man in kayaked into Canada claims asylum. It was the Detroit River.
Oh, Detroit
There we
River.
go.
Okay.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
the Delaware did not make sense because I've been tubing in the Delaware.
Okay.
And I also looked at the map. It starts in New York.
But yeah, I like that Canada's way of handling it was, we'll give you a permit to stay here until we figure out your case. Hi, Sammy.
Really, I'm surprised you didn't claim well, I think there are certain groups, if they do that, they should claim asylum at this point.
Yep.
Or not claim asylum, petition for asylum.
Yeah.
Like all trans people, because we're
All trans people.
under the
Yep.
threat of being arrested as terrorists. Because I'm
He's
such a
Louise.
terrible person.
Yeah. Well, everybody in this group, we have been declared a terrorist cell.
Pam Bondi. Sorry. I would like to see one person from the Trump regime who isn't some kind, or at least one female person from the Trump regime who isn't a total idiot.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well,
The Secretary of Agriculture is a woman, and she the other day came out and basically said that this administration is a pile of shit.
yeah.
and Mike Johnson was standing next to her, and he cut her off at the microphone. He pushed her aside and then started to lay out the bullshit for everybody. But she was
Yeah.
calling out the administration basically.
Well, Trump is intimidated by intelligent women. That's very clear. So I'm sure if there were any around, he would get rid of them.
Yeah.
Well,
You got coconut pass?
personally, I'm surprised he thinks that the Montreal Cognitive Assessment is an IQ test.
Yeah.
And he's still bragging about it. It's like, no, it's not an IQ test, and they give this when they think there's a problem.
You can pass that test.
Yep.
Jeez.
I don't know if I could pass that test or not, but I don't think my doctors have a reason to suspect I have dementia yet.
Yeah, it didn't occur to him that, it's got pictures in it because this is the same test they give to like an 8-year-old.
No, it's designed. I don't know. I don't think the Mocha is designed for 8-year-olds, but I'm sure most 8-year-olds could pass it.
Look at that.
But it's weird that he's bragging about it. It's like, Biden couldn't have passed this test. It's like, I'm pretty sure Biden could have, but we didn't even really suspect there was any problem with Biden until towards the end of his term.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
his whole thing, for the whole 4 years was he was talking about sleepy Joe Biden, and now
Yeah.
he's falling asleep during press conferences, and
The Nod Father.
yeah,
Yeah, it's still like dozing Don.
yeah, it's like, the media made a huge deal about sleepy Joe Biden, and they're just brushing aside the idea that Trump is literally falling asleep when he's meeting with foreign heads of state.
I don't know. Honestly, in one of those meetings, Dr. Oz was there. And wouldn't you fall asleep after listening to Dr. Oz?
Fair point.
No, because usually I'm enraged after listening to Dr. Oz.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I remember when he had his TV show and just the woo he was pitching as medical advice.
Did anyone? There was an Onion headline I saw a while ago. Speaking of, I'm thinking of Dr. Phil. But anyway, I'll go on there anyway. Where it's like Oprah chases Dr. Phil across Arctic to hunt down the monster she created.
Okay.
Well, that was the vampire department at the hospital. I get to go in on Tuesday and get some more blood.
Yeah, well, hey, I got a compliment when they went to draw my blood. I was told I have gorgeous veins.
Did they draw a whole picture for you, or just a little doodle?
Does the critical cupcake still exist? I assume she does, but I haven't seen her in a while.
No, I haven't seen her. Well, she definitely hasn't put anything on YouTube for like about a year. I had seen her put some comments in a Twitter group, but even that's been a few months.
I think she's still on Blue Sky, maybe, and she was on Mastodon. But honestly, would you really want to interact with the U.S. right now if you're not from the U.S.?
No,
Probably
I
not.
wouldn't. And lots of the world doesn't. They've got travel advisories about coming here.
Yeah.
And in fact, I understand at the UN they're beginning to discuss how can we isolate the United States.
Yeah, the UN has announced that they need to do an investigation of the supposed drug boats we sunk off of Venezuela.
Oh. On this morning's news programs, there was a guy did a report that we have we've had one of the blown up drug boats float to shore, and the only thing that was in it was marijuana, which they said in the report is legal in 40 of the 50 states.
That's very true.
Well, but while it is legal in most of the states,
not this one.
It is still illegal to move it across state lines. Even if it's between two states where it's legal in both states, if you transport it across the state line, that becomes a federal crime.
I'm sure that has not deterred the Illinois dispensaries that are offering Indiana residents gas cards if they want to use their Illinois dispensaries.
I think they do sell weed in Indiana.
That one.
Weed is not legal in Indiana.
I had not heard the one about the gas cards, so that's great.
Yeah, Indiana, weed is a capital offense.
Really?
No, it is not.
No. Well, and that's the other thing Vice Rhino was pointing out was that, they're blowing up these boats and they are effectively executing people without a trial, that even if these boats were full of the drugs they're claiming, those would still not be offenses that could carry the death penalty.
Cake's Breath Whiskey Leaks needs to be impeached and removed from war crimes.
Who?
Cake's Breath Whiskey Leaks. Our Secretary of Defense.
Oh.
And speaking of whiskey, have you heard that the Jim Beam distillery in Kentucky has shut down operation for at least a year while they figure out the market?
Well, yeah, and they even said it's tariffs, which did not make Trump happy, but
Yep.
Well,
yeah, because
it is.
Canada is not buying much alcohol from the U.S. anymore.
Just remember that their majority of their contributions went to the Republicans.
Well,
Yeah, but again, it's another thing that shows that, even Republican donors are starting to try and get away from Trump because his policies are screwing up the economy.
No. He's a business guy. He's successful. He knows just how to make the government run like a business and go bankrupt and stuff.
Yeah, the guy who's managed to go into bankruptcy over half a dozen times. He seems like a good choice to run the country like a business.
I have a book on my shelf written by Alan Greenspan called "It's About Capitalism," and I recall the part where he praises the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act for being a really good idea and not starting to make the Great Depression even worse than it would have been.
Yeah. Well, I'm no economic genius or anything, but a lot of people do not realize that so many, even if you're not directly importing a finished product from abroad, so much of the industrial base is a global market at this point in time, that manufacturers in the United States are importing a lot of the shit that goes into the product. So a lot of the price stuff that the tariffs are going to eventually hit the consumer with are already being felt by manufacturers here in the U.S. And I'm in the biz, so
They're already hitting
it's
consumers.
Like car manufacturers, those parts go back and forth multiple times.
Yeah, the auto manufacturers have a terrible time with it because most of the electronics were imported from China.
Even the Switch I bought for myself, the Switch 2, I bought for myself for Christmas. It was lower prices, but I mean, its price had to be raised because of Trump's idiocy.
Yep.
So.
Well,
and
so it's hurting.
Kikkoman's soy sauce hasn't gone up in price.
But the other side of it is a lot of U.S. manufacturers, the company I work for included, are trying to keep the price low because the price is reasonable because of sticker shock, right? It's like, oh my God. Especially with niche products. It's very, very difficult to explain, or convince people to buy stuff when suddenly the price has to go up. So what's that doing? It's depressing the profit. I mean, hell, we live in a capitalist hellscape, so profit is kind of the idea. But that's going to hurt. It's going to hurt at every level. It's going to hurt at the consumer level. It's going to hurt at the producer level. It's going to hurt at the capitalist level. It's going to hurt everybody. It's just that tariffs are bad. Even fucking Adam Smith knew that tariffs were a bad idea.
Depends on how it's being used.
Because even during Biden, they were talking about the greedflation, that companies were using the excuse of the economy to hike up the prices more than they needed to. So now that they actually have a reason that they need to raise their prices, they already look bad if they do it.
Adam Smith.
They did it during COVID, and they're doing it now.
Porpoise?
Adam Smith probably wouldn't call what we have today capitalism, if you've actually read his book. Because what he predicted, what we have today, is a specific failure of capitalism if you don't control it. He said government needs to step in to keep companies from growing too large and all these mergers. So there's only 2 or 3 major players competing against each other. And he also said it's hey, the government should pay for some things because everyone benefits.
Gee, don't they call that democratic socialism?
Socialism, no!
Well, and that's something that the people miss, that they thought Trump was going to run the country like a business, but a business is run for profit. So one of the first things they do is any division that's not profitable, they shut it down.
He is doing it for profit, except the profit is going into his fucking personal pocket.
But I mean, okay, theoretically, if he was trying to run the country as a profitable business, the government never made a profit to start with. So that's why he, shuts down a whole bunch of departments that, just don't seem viable.
I think that had more to do with his consolidating his power and trying to make sure there were only loyalists.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that the idea of people voting for him to run it like a business was a stupid idea in the first place.
Well, people think, running things like a business will get us out of debt. It's
we had this argument.
That's not how that works for you.
We went through this argument when H. Ross Perot tried to run for president in his business acumen, which was good, but government is not business. You can't run government like a business.
Mm-hmm.
At least Perot had the fact that he was a successful business guy going for him. Donald Trump Donald Trump is a made-for-TV character. He's only been successful on The fucking Apprentice.
Well,
That's the only enterprise he ever engaged in that was an absolute success. And
Well,
people
I don't know.
bought that
did-
character.
He did pretty good with Epstein.
well, Trump is good at a couple things.
Yeah.
Trump is good at a couple things. I'll give him. He's good at marketing. He's good at slapping his name on things, and he's good at manipulating people who don't have very much education.
Yeah, he's good at branding and marketing. That's the only thing to say he's really been good with.
And he's super good at not paying people for the work they've done for him.
Well, yeah.
Real good at that.
I don't know if that's a skill, but yes, that's true too.
Okay. Another bit of good news.
Trump resigned.
No,
Caroline Levitt resigned.
the courts have stepped in and said that he cannot go ahead with his ballroom without there being a period of public hearings.
Well, his ballroom was a I'm going to call it the Trump Epstein Memorial Ballroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because one, it annoyed him.
But the fact that he did not have any plans approved before he started has got the courts to say, no, this has to stop here, and you have to submit plans, and there has to be, a chance for public comments on the plans.
And your plans have to include rebuilding of the East Wing.
Yep.
Right. I'm wondering where the room with the specialized dentist chairs will be in the new ballroom, because you got to take a break between dances.
A story came out today. I don't know how true it is because I wasn't that interested. Said that he was going to put like a bunker inside of it in case someone shot at him.
Under it.
There's a couple. There was a couple rumors about that. One is that the entire thing is going to be 4-inch thick bulletproof glass, and the other thing is that the presidential bunker that they run everybody to in case of war is under the East Wing, and so this will have to contain that. And they're talking that they're trying to enlarge that. Into golden Trump bullshit.
Does that mean that the bunker is currently inaccessible if you needed it today?
I don't know. I've wondered that myself.
I imagine not, but Trump. I honestly think a lot of these Trump construction projects are just his staff telling him, it's like, okay, Grandpa, do this while we actually do what we need to do to run the country.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure
Reasonable
there's some of that
assumption.
going on.
Trying to keep him busy with like projects that he thinks he's good at so he doesn't muck other things up.
Look at
Well,
this
one of his
bathroom.
advisors admitted that they've been feeding him bad data just because nobody wants to deal with him getting angry. So that's why he keeps saying that the economy is doing great, because they haven't shown him the real numbers.
Didn't they do that in the first term as well?
Probably.
No, actually, they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
It's only been since he's been dicking around with the Department of Labor and their reporting and that stuff that they just don't show the bad numbers. Everybody knows they're horrible, but we don't get to see the officials. And that's been for 2 months in a row. And it will be for this third.
We get it's a little bit different when we not seeing it. It's different than him not seeing it.
Even if he did see them, would he believe them?
Even if they offered them to him, he wouldn't fucking read them.
I don't think it's possible in his mind for him to fail.
Yeah, well, that's the thing that, they've been giving him numbers that would make him happy because nobody wants to be in the room if he gets upset.
Which is another sign of dementia. They need to remove him.
Yeah.
That physical therapist guy specifically talked about one of the dynamics of that he's going through is how he conflates things, puts things together that have no relationship, and making up terms, and the nature of the disease is such that he actually believes what he's conflating.
Oh, I never said he doesn't have dementia. I just say my desire, but like saying he's gone 3 to 5 months.
I agree with you.
It's just going to feed my confirmation bias. I want him gone. I want to believe that.
Well, and I agree with what Jenny was saying there too, that, I think Trump actually believes what he's saying. He's so disconnected from reality that he does not perceive the same reality the rest of us do.
See, and honestly, I kind of hope we see more things like artists canceling on him, like people fact checking him. He hates that. And I want to see more things like reporters cutting off J.D. Vance when he's lying.
Well, he's the guy that we have to start talking about how we're going to deal with him, because Trump is not going to make it another year.
Yeah,
he is a soulless school, and I don't think he has any real beliefs.
Also, J.D. Vance is not very popular within the Republican Party. So he's not going to be able to control things very well.
But he still has power if Trump goes.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, even if Trump goes, J.D. Vance will have a lot more problems getting Republicans in Congress to go along with anything he wants to do.
Yeah,
They're
he's much more
likely to
toothless.
challenge him.
Yeah, he's much more toothless.
Unless he dies from a priapism after having relations with a couch. And that leaves us with MAGA Mike. Should I call him MAGA Mike or Grinder Mike?
Grinder. Did you know that Mike Johnson lives with another man in DC? In this big fancy home. The other guy is a religious freak of some sort, some well-known major name in the religion game. And they have little prayer meetings and stuff there, and they're really chummy. It's supposed.
It's
honestly,
very sweet.
I think Mike Johnson's career is over after next election anyway.
Well, I hear that J.D. Vance has a couch in his home and his office. Possibly he just misunderstood the term love seat.
No, just don't sit on it unless you have a box of tissues on hand.
Well, in a knife, you got to make a slit somewhere.
Gotta love that we can make all these jokes, and we gotta love that, as far as I know, we're the only country where one of our citizens asked the vice president if he wanted to F a couch. Gotta find that clip. That was great.
So far, so good. There you go. That's his motto.
Part of me
We've
wants
got
to.
resist depression and stop the stupidity. Sorry, I haven't been watching the side chat very much.
Doesn't look like it's been moving very much.
Yeah, not a lot of comments. But it does say we have 13 people watching us, so people are listening. They're just not commenting.
Not really sure how accurate those counts are. Because StreamYard and YouTube don't always have the same count. And
well, I'm going by the StreamYard count because I've come to not believe YouTube at all.
I don't believe either account, honestly. I've seen the StreamYard count say 0 and had people talking in the chat.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a delay on the StreamYard or...
Well, that's like somebody asking, do you believe in vampires? And the guy says, yeah, I've seen the one on Sesame Street. The guy says he doesn't count, and he says he most...
Oh, I assure you he does.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Have you ever taken a look at the Count Von Count's Twitter account?
No, I didn't know he had one.
Yeah, he has one. It's just him counting up, occasionally going, ah, ah, ah. That's all it is. But technically, the Count on Sesame Street is no longer a vampire.
Oh?
I guess they thought it scared kids and he lost his fang.
Oh.
Even though the count is clearly based on Bela Lugosi's Dracula character.
Yeah. Yeah, been a long time since I've been watching Sesame Street, so
Speaking of
mean-
Sesame Street, somebody put together an AI. I don't know, what would you call it? A battle royale? No, a who would win this fight kind of challenge. And it was between
A death battle.
Yeah, a death battle. Okay, great. 1 million Kermit the Frogs versus 10,000 Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
I'm going to go with the Tyrannosaurus Rex on that one.
No, sorry.
Kermit would
numbers
definitely
win.
outsmart it.
Unless it's something like Kermit and the T-Rex get together and sing It's Not Easy Being Green.
It's of course a stupid thing, but it was kind of fun watching all these Kermits get shredded by
Well,
T-Rexes.
the other thing is if there's 1 million Kermits, after the T-Rex eats a couple thousand of them, he's going to be so bloated he can't move.
This sounds like something I asked ChatGPT recently, which you can do. It's like, who would win, like, between Galactus and I don't know, like Doctor Strange or something. Then I added in the unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Yep.
And then I asked what would happen if Darkwing Duck showed up. But apparently the unbeatable Squirrel Girl would win.
Of course.
I will always put my money on Doctor Strange.
No, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl is unbeatable. And she has to beat Galactus.
Okay, honestly, I don't know anything about Squirrel Girl.
I think it's like a bunch of superheroes from like the Great Lakes that are kind of like underpowered and they're supposed to be like joke.
Yeah, she was a parody character, and her thing is being able to talk to and basically control squirrels, and she's been known to be a bunch of really powerful little villains, usually off screen.
Well, that's no more absurd than Ant-Man.
Well,
A little bit more absurd than Ant-Man. Ant-Man actually started as more of a horror comic.
Wait a minute, Ant-Man can shrink down to the size of an ant.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty out there.
Yeah, like I said, his debut actually was more of a horror comic.
well, what I wonder about though is, did Marvel actually rip off Squirrel Girl from the Tick?
I think the Tick was always like a parody, though. It's like
Yeah, I know, but the Tick actually had a Squirrel Girl in it before Marvel did. And
I don't know.
The battle cry was "I love squirrels," and she apparently could provoke the squirrels to attack someone.
What I remember most from the Tick is the line, "If you're truly evil, eat this kitten."
Yeah.
And the Tick is like, eating kittens? That's just plain wrong.
One of the things I remember was one of the end segments when the Tick was like being interviewed on TV, and being asked, what his powers were, and he was saying nigh on invincible, and the reporter asked, could you destroy the Earth? And the Tick says, I hope not. That's where I keep all my stuff.
I love the attempt that they made, the very short running TV series on the Tick with what's his name playing the Tick, the guy who played Putty on Seinfeld.
One?
Patrick Warburton is a good choice for the Tick.
Oh God, yes, he is so funny.
But I didn't really like them replacing American Made with Batman well.
Yeah, I didn't care for the live action one. I only liked the original animated series.
There's two live action ones.
I was going to say, there's one on Amazon, which was not terrible, even though it was short-lived.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the newer one then.
Yeah, Alan Tudyk voices Danger Boat.
Danger Boat?
It's not a character in the cartoon, but it's...
Okay, what's his power?
Danger Boat is a boat with an AI that guides it. So Alan Tudyk is the voice of Danger Boat.
Okay, so it's a sentient boat.
Yes.
Like Bodie McBoatface.
More like Kit, but yeah, whatever.
You know, you have to wonder why didn't Batman ever get a sentient Batmobile?
Because Robin laid an egg.
Because it was the 60s, and they hadn't thought of those sorts of things.
Yeah,
yet.
but I mean, in the newer movies, you know, why didn't they give him a Batmobile that could drive itself so that he could summon it to wherever he is?
I think that is in some of the newer movies.
Yeah, he has the remote control.
Because Waymo owned the patents.
They put the project in the hands of Elon Musk, and they're still waiting for that one to show up.
Yeah, Batman's had been able to remote control his car.
I also think he has a remote controlled jet.
Okay, and Stephanie, Elon
Yes.
Musk is a character in the Marvel universe. I don't think he exists in DC.
Yeah, good point.
He did make an appearance in one of the Iron Man movies as himself.
First one.
That's before everyone realized he was an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when people still thought he was an inventor.
Instead of an escapee from South Africa, from a South African emerald mine.
See, the thing is,
all kinds of.
all Elon Musk had to do was shut up, and everyone would still think he's a genius.
Yeah.
Okay, on that, who is the only character of all the Star Trek, all the incarnations of Star Trek, who is the only person who appeared as themselves?
Abraham Lincoln.
Stephen Hawking appeared in an episode as a holodeck character.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Are you sure that includes Lower Decks?
I haven't seen Lower Decks, so
I don't
know.
count Lower Decks.
Lower Decks is canon,
I don't count Lower Decks.
and mostly Lower Decks is just making fun of the next generation.
You know, I haven't had streaming service to watch it. But, you know, the premise of Lower Decks is something that I had been asking for a long time. You know, that I was just kind of wondering, you know, there's 1,000 people on this ship, and we only see about a dozen of them. What are the rest of them doing all this time?
Well, I mean, just first of all, don't get a streaming service. Just look for it on the high seas. You can find it.
Okay, I suppose I've only been looking for it on the A flats, so.
And you'll love the Doctor. I mean, I loved really the cat doctor that's just has no bedside manner.
Yeah, that was about the only character that got a chuckle out of me.
Really, you didn't like the troublemaking Vulcan that gets sent?
I watched only to about the third episode. I only got one chuckle out of the entire thing. The rest of it was annoying, especially Mariner.
So, I can't give spoilers if you haven't seen it. But there's a reason why Mariner acts the way she does.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have Tori.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a reason why the captain of the ship looks a lot like her.
Yeah, I know that much. That's the reason why I'm not.
What are they like siblings or something?
I don't want to spoil it. Watch it.
Okay. Yeah, and Bryce is saying they've been listening, but they just don't add much to the chat.
Athena, that is not a cat toy. That is a computer monitor.
That's because we are so absolutely engaging that Bryce cannot draw away from us.
I know. I kind of got the impression with Mariner that if you took Wesley and Neelix and fused them together in a transporter accident, then that character would be less annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Porpoise. Porpoise, you seem
Alright.
to not understand the first rule of the universe.
Anything is a cat toy if the cat decides it is.
By cat logic, if it exists, it is mine.
I didn't say it wasn't hers. I said it wasn't a cat toy.
Well, what else would it be for?
Well, I honestly think she thinks it's a cat toy because sometimes she sees me playing games. She's like, how do I play that? Like I was playing 7 Days to Die, building something. You see us like pawing with the screen, trying to figure out. It's like, How do I get these blocks to change color here?
Sammyson's done that too, that he watches me playing something and he's wondering how I'm making things on the screen move.
So many cats, so few recipes.
But Athena, will have me for a few more days yet. I do have to go run some errands, but you have been sitting in my lap most of the day.
Speaking of errands, I've got to go run a few right now, as a matter of fact. So
I have
wish
seen
you a
somebody-
happy New Year. and
Okay,
See you all later.
see you next year.
Good,
Yeah, but
good,
she's-
always
Here.
good to see you, Steph. Don't be a
All
stranger,
right, good to see you guys.
or any stranger than
Yep.
usual.
Is that why you're confused, Athena?
Yep.
I mean, I did like get you one of those cat games.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. I've got an older tablet, and I've been thinking about that of just loading up one of those things that's just like a webcam on a fish pond, and seeing how the cats would react if I put that on the floor.
Well, some of them the cats can actually move and catch the fish. Kind
Yeah.
of.
They'll wreck your tablet.
Well, that's why I'm saying I've got an old tablet that at this point is too outdated. It's too slow and too little memory to do very much of the new stuff on. It won't run my Steam games.
I'm gonna have to go walk Molly, so
Wait.
I'll be back if you're still here.
I think maybe we could wrap it up here. We're almost at 2.5 hours.
Steam games. What type of tablet is it?
I'd have to pull it out. I don't remember, but it's one that I got like 4 years ago or something. And even when I got it, it wasn't like a brand new one. It was a model that was a couple of years old when I got it.
All right, you can use tablets to stream your Steam games now, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's a Steam client on tablets as far as I know.
Well, I can stream my games to it, but it's so pitifully slow that the games lag too much to really be playable. Anyway, okay, Mage, why don't you, tell us what you got going on, possibly a stream tonight for New Year's Eve?
Yeah, maybe if I'm up for it.
Okay, if you're up for it, I'll be there with you.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, not really much. Just still waiting for the electrician to come in so I can get back to doing my regular streaming. The electrician that was booked for 3 weeks about 5 weeks ago I'm still waiting on.
Yeah, you still didn't get any of that sorted out. I
Yeah,
hope he gets to you soon.
so I'm gonna head out.
Okay,
Later.
we'll see you later.
Happy New Year, Mage.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Okay, Journey, how's things going for you?
Well, I had a good time on my live stream debut on Christmas Eve. Thank you to Purple and you, Jenny, for co-hosting with me.
Wasn't my fault.
But I said thank you.
It was fun being there to see the newbie get their feet wet.
Yeah, and you said I wasn't there, but I was there in the side chat through the whole thing. I was commenting on you.
But I mean,
That's okay.
yeah,
I'm sure.
and you were also you were on stage too.
I am sure no one will comment on you losing your virginity after you're 40 years old.
What?
Especially not the asexual.
Yeah.
How do you know how old I am, Porpoise?
I don't. I'm just making a guess.
83.
Younger than that.
81.
Okay,
nailed
okay,
it.
so you're
So-
less
so-
than 84, but you're older than Jenny.
But
I didn't say that.
I'm guessing you need 5 digits in binary to express your age. Sorry, 6.
There's a good cryptic one, yes.
It
But less than 7.
It would take me a minute to figure that out. But anyways, had a successful live stream debut. Thank you to my co-hosts and also to Dr. Tapioca Weasel.
Oh, I hope you asked him about magnets.
I did crack a joke about, maybe I should have told the Purple and Jenny not to use the M word.
Okay.
There was one other time that I interacted with him on camera, and I pulled his chain about magnets, and that was amusing.
I needed a minute to figure it out, but 6 digits in binary would be 64.
No, it would be 32 because you need 1 more digit.
Okay. So
Then it's the same in decimal. If you want to express 10 to the second power,
Yep.
As in something other than exponents, you need 3 digits because it rolls over.
Well, I knew the way it went up. I was just I think it was that problem of counting from 2 instead of counting from 0.
It's called an off by 1 error. This is the most common error in computer science.
Yep. I've also heard it called the fence post error.
Same thing.
Yep.
So 6
Jenny,
digits would...
I know you're spending most of your time recovering. You said you're getting another infusion, so I hope that helps you get stronger. You got anything else you want to add, or anything you want to comment on?
I don't know. I guess not really.
Okay, did a bunch of green slime just pour down from your ceiling?
You can't do that on television.
No, but you can on the internet.
No, that squirts out of my nose. Please.
I'm glad that
hopefully-
everybody here understood that reference.
Hopefully not in the same volume that it poured down from the ceiling on Nickelodeon.
I've never seen that, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny that one kids show, then became the trademark for Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So Porpoise, what have you got going on? Any plans for the new year?
Well, like I said, I plan on going out and moving the cat so I can see.
Going out, but there's people out there.
I know, but I need to find a new.
There, Porpoise. I gave you a New Year's gift.
Hexadecimal.
Yeah, my name in hexadecimal.
Yeah, okay. So I am the Sinister Porpoise. When you think of Sinister Porpoises, think of the Sinister Porpoise. I've been fairly active on Clapper lately. I have not been active on YouTube. If my job changes, I will come back to that YouTube, and probably will not be anything good, but if that happens. Unless, of course, I become independently wealthy by winning the lottery or something.
So
but
you have the clap?
Yes, Jenny, that's exactly what I said.
Or you go viral on YouTube, so you get 1 million subscribers, and you get 2% on Patreon sending money to you.
Well, I was gonna say I already have my following on Clapper has been going up quite a bit. It's been apparently you get followers by interacting, and sometimes it's like they just like your comment and start following you if they see you have videos.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking
But,
of starting a Patreon or an OnlyFans, one of the two, where all it is a nonstop, continuous view of my big toe.
well, I had to give one of my students a detention for saying I had an OnlyFans.
I've actually been doing that. That when I'm watching these things of meme collections, that when I see an artist I really like, then I subscribe to their channel and I'll send them a note, through social media if they've got one listed.
So yeah, if you want to follow me on Clapper, my account's Mad Computer Scientist. I actually did intend to do something on my similarly named YouTube channel over break because I saw like Answers in Jenison, Canada was trying to say ChatGPT proves God.
My farts prove God.
Well,
Yeah.
but if you ask an LLM questions in a certain way, it's going to give you the response you want, just as long as it has enough training data to answer that way.
I saw Vice Rhino do a response to that one.
It's just clear. It's just some people think, oh yeah, AI will always give you the right answer, not understanding it's like AI is designed to come up with responses based on what you feed it.
I heard somebody say that AI is going to make the internet irrelevant.
Or I should more accurately say LLMs work that way. I don't think it's going to make the internet irrelevant because we'll still have like news sites to connect to when we need like information just from human sources.
I think AI is just going to wind up making it harder to search for relevant information because it's going to spit out the garbage first, and you have to, know down to dig until you find a reputable source.
How will you know it's reputable?
Well, if you're going to do that, you wouldn't be asking an AI. But AI is good at some things. It's like really good at like as a linter, essentially.
Yeah,
I found where it's like, oh yeah.
The problem is that Google has implemented the AI, so if you ask Google a question, it gives you the AI response first.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of
go down until you find a source that is actually reporting something factual.
There are a lot of things that need to be better regulated, and AI is one of them. But fortunately, Trump, who has no idea what he's doing, says, "Oh yeah, let's not regulate AI because that's not what the tech bro CEOs want." And first of all, the tech bro CEOs do not really understand the technology. That is not what their specialty is. Their specialty is running businesses. And secondly, a lot of people don't understand how LLMs actually, even the basics of how LLMs work. And they think, oh yeah, if it gives me an answer, it's right. It's like, no, it's not even designed to do that. Anyway, this is just me getting on the soapbox here because I'm
on the subject of AI. Brave browser. I'm not familiar with that one. I'll try that one.
It's one of the privacy focused browsers.
It's been around for a while.
As long as it's not associated with Brave Books. Brave Books prints indoctrinating children's books.
The Brainless Steel, I really wish I could come back to YouTube because honestly, some parts of it were fun, but do I really want, I doubt I would have gone anywhere with that channel.
But another good thing on the AI, I forget which city it was, but they had a power outage, so all the streetlights went out, and all of the driverless taxis were paralyzed. They didn't know what to do when there was no light lit on the traffic signal.
That was San Francisco. And they were all Waymo cars, and there was a shot of four of them jamming up one intersection.
Yep. They just stopped at the intersection, and they wouldn't move.
And another Waymo went crazy yesterday and made a turn because it did not recognize the street closing flares that the fire department put out for the fire down the block.
That's another thing I've wondered about, that if you have an emergency situation like that, that's not marked on the map.
But
Well,
anyway,
it's supposedly reading signs and things like that with all their little spinny things on the fenders and hood or roof.
follow me on Clapper. I just hit 4.6K followers. I'm hoping to get up to like around 10K next year.
Cool.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. Sorry, go ahead, Jenny.
Can we end this pretty quick? I have to pee really bad.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Yep.
trying to wrap this up. So if you want, you can follow me here on YouTube, either the Sinister Porpoise or Mad Computer Scientist. I'm not active right now. Or you can follow me on Twitter. So be excellent to each other. And so long, and thanks for all the fish. And Jenny, your tagline?
Well, no, I have to just do my bit here. I'll be here same time next week. And we have to thank our supporters on Patreon: Kitty the Atheist, Robert X, Greg Hartwick, Sandy Shore, Skits Crasher, Regios, and Junie. And actually, in the new year, we can look forward to some new artwork from Junie. So, with that, yes, we will bid you all farewell, Happy New Year, and see you all next year.
Don't get caught unless you want to.
Be yourself.
Well, yep. Don't add to the population. Don't subtract from the population. Don't end up in the newspaper.
And don't get arrested.
Prison, and if you wind up in prison, establish dominance immediately.
And remember, the biggest cause of population growth is off by 1 errors.
And when in
The
prison,
biggest cause of population growth tonight is going to be booze.
don't bend over.